Najib Abdul Razak has been ordered to pay $1.3 billion to SRC International. His lawyer Shafi Abdullah told reporters today that they would be filing an appeal. Meanwhile, Nurul Izzah Anwar has denied claims that she would be resigning as PKR Deputy President. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. Former Premier Najib Abdul Razak has been ordered to repay SRC International Sdn Bhd a sum of $1.18 billion as well as $120 million of funds that allegedly flowed into his bank account. Kuala Lumpur High Court Judge Ahmad Fairuz Zainal Abidin delivered the ruling in SRC's suit against Najib and the company's former Chief Executive Officer Nik Faisal Ariff Kamil, who is still at large. In his verdict today, Fairuz said Najib was liable for breaching his fiduciary duty and committing misfeasance in public office. He said the totality of the evidence tips overwhelmingly in favor of SRC's version of events based on documentary records, fund flows, and personal admissions. Fairuz added that Najib had full discretion over his account and could have taken various actions, including reporting the matter to the authorities. He stated that Najib had breached his duties, including the duty to disclose any personal interest in the funds, and instead acted in furtherance of his own interests rather than those of SRC. On elements required to prove misfeasance or wrongful exercise of lawful authority, Fairuz said multiple acts of concealment showed that Najib was aware of what could and could not be done in the exercise of his ministerial powers. The civil action filed in 2021 is part of efforts by SRC and related entities to recover billions allegedly lost in transactions linked to the wider 1MDB scandal. Proceedings have seen testimonies from former directors and officials, including claims that major investment decisions were approved without proper scrutiny. The court allowed an interim stay of execution to enable Najib to file a formal application for a stay pending appeal within 14 days. The issue of legal costs arising from the case will be determined at a later stage. Victor Chin's deadline for a PKR MP to return 9.5 million ringgit, allegedly taken to help settle the corporate mafia scandal, has passed. However, at the time of reporting, around 15 hours after the deadline, the investor has yet to reveal the lawmaker's identity. This has led to speculation that the matter may have been resolved, possibly through a full refund to Chin. Multiple attempts by Malaysia Kini to reach the business person for comment on whether he would name the MP were unsuccessful. This included requests sent through his lawyer S. Krishna Kumar, who, as of this morning, said he would check with Chin. Last week, Chin had accused a PKR MP of taking 9.5 million ringgit from him to help resolve a problem he was facing with the so-called corporate mafia. In a 40-page document detailing the chronology of events, he claimed the unnamed lawmaker asked him to arrange 10 million ringgit in cash to resolve the problem by speaking to the group. He said he was able to secure 9.5 million ringgit initially, but the remaining 500,000 was never handed over, as the MP failed to resolve the matter. Chin had also sent a message to the lawmaker demanding the return of the money by March 30th, warning that he would reveal the MP's identity if the demand was not met.
From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Former DAP lawmaker Charles Santiago has called for the release of the full report on the shareholdings of MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki. In a statement, he stressed that nothing short of complete transparency would be acceptable. The demand, he said, is straightforward and non-negotiable. Release the report in its entirety, not summaries, selective briefings, or carefully curated excerpts. Charles argued that the continued non-release of the report is indefensible in signaling a political culture still clinging to secrecy and control. Worse, he said it normalizes the idea that the public can be managed rather than informed. He added that this is not governance and certainly not the kind of governance we were promised by Pakatan Harapan and Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. He maintained that if the report is inaccurate, it should be released and challenged with evidence. If accurate, it must still be made public and its implications addressed. He stressed that this is precisely the kind of information that in any functioning democracy must be subjected to immediate and transparent public scrutiny. Charles said this in response to a Bloomberg report quoting sources claiming that Anwar had asked key people in the probe of Azam's shareholdings to delay making their findings public. This pause is reportedly meant to allow law enforcement agencies to complete separate investigations into the alleged corporate mafia scandal implicating the MACC and to revisit the matter in the cabinet. A police chase at Kuala Lumpur International Airport yesterday ended with a 30-year-old man under arrest. According to KLIA Police Chief M. Ravi, the 30-year-old suspect rammed several public vehicles in an attempt to escape while being pursued by a mobile patrol vehicle in the incident at 4:30 p.m. He said MPV personnel conducting crime prevention patrols around the KLIA area attempted to stop the red Honda Civic, but the driver refused to pull over for inspection. Bernama quoted him as saying that the driver attempted to flee towards the KLIA terminal at level 3, ramming 5 public vehicles along the route before being successfully apprehended near the scene. Checks later revealed that the suspect has 31 prior criminal records and is also wanted by the police for a drug-related offense. He said the case is being investigated under sections 186 and 427 of the Penal Code for obstructing a public servant in the discharge of duties and committing mischief, as well as under section 15(1) of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 and related traffic offences.
If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe.
PKR Deputy President Nurul Izzah Anwar has shut down talks of her stepping down, saying that nothing has changed in the party's leadership structure. In a statement this morning, she said claims regarding her resignation are not true. She added that she remains committed to carrying out the responsibilities entrusted to her in accordance with the mandate of party members and the party's process. Nurul Izzah also urged the public not to be influenced by unverified information. Previously, Malaysia Kini reported PKR Secretary General Fuzia Saleh as denying the resignation rumors. PKR Information Chief and Communications Minister Fahmi Fazil also dismissed the rumors as fake news. The rumors of Nurul Izzah's resignation surfaced amid businessperson Victor Chin's latest claims regarding the corporate mafia scandal, including allegations that a PKR MP had received 9.5 million ringgit from him to resolve his legal troubles. Iranian ambassador to Malaysia Valiola Mohammadi Nasrabadi said that Malaysian-owned vessels can navigate the Strait of Hormuz safely without paying tolls. He confirmed that Tehran has been informed of 7 Malaysian-owned ships intending to transit the strait amid rising regional tensions. He told the New Straits Times that they have considered this and the vessels will be allowed to pass. He said it is no problem as Malaysia is a friendly country and friendly countries can use the strait. When asked whether the vessels would be charged a toll, Valiola added that the Strait of Hormuz remains open to international shipping, framing its selective restrictions as a lawful response to recent attacks and dismissing claims of a full closure. He explained that access to the strategic waterway is being limited only for countries involved in or supporting attacks against Iran. The ambassador noted that Iran continues to allow passage for friendly nations, subject to coordination with its authorities. Multiple international media reports since last week have indicated that Iran's military has set up a toll booth at the straits and is charging up to $2 million for passage. According to Bloomberg, the payments are ad hoc, and the method of payment and exact currency used are unclear. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.